Sultana Hurrem in her youth, from a concubine to an empress. She was small in size and ordinary in beauty, according to some sources, but she was able to convince Sultan Suleiman in a way the beauties of the palace could not. He summoned her repeatedly to his chamber, although the laws prevented mothers of sons from going to the sultan, so that the children would be from different concubines. So, how did Sultana Hurrem live her life as a concubine? And how did she transform from merely a slave into an empress? About all of this, my dears, this video will be from our channel, Hera Motivation, according to the sources you see before you, which do not contradict the information we presented previously from other sources. Before we continue, dear follower, we invite you to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and activate the notification bell. We also invite you to leave a comment telling us exactly where you are watching us from. Alexandra became the favorite concubine of Sultan Suleiman at 17 years of age, and it is likely she was gifted to him shortly after he took power. Her cheerful nature had a refreshing and strong effect on Suleiman, especially during the troubled period he lived after ascending the throne. But the palace records also mention something else, something more unsettling. Several attendants noted that in the nights following Alexandra's arrival, the torches in the harem corridors would extinguish on their own, as if blown by a cold wind, even though the windows were sealed. The elderly eunuchs whispered that such signs meant the arrival of a woman whose fate would shake the imperial house. Whether superstition or foresight, many later claimed that the moment Hurrem crossed the palace threshold, destiny itself shifted in her favor and against whoever stood in her way. Something grew between them immediately, perhaps what is known today as love at first sight, or perhaps it was sexual obsession and complete compatibility, since in the first period they could not have deep conversations because of the language barriers, for Sultana Hürrem at that time was not yet fluent in the Ottoman language. Suleiman called her Hurrem, meaning the cheerful or the laughing one, because she had a personality capable of bringing joy to the heart of the man before her. And with the development of Hurrem's knowledge of the Ottoman language, they became more aware of each other, and the legendary love that grew between them intertwined and intensified. In the winter of that year, Aisha Hafsa, the mother of Suleiman, arrived to Istanbul, and certainly that was her first meeting with Hurrem. The mother of Suleiman, who earned the title Valide Sultan for the first time in history, did not know anything about her son's new favorite, but she may have been surprised that the concubine was less beautiful than Suleiman's other favorites. According to the Italian ambassador, Hurrem was small in size and not at all of great beauty. This is what Leslie Pierce mentioned, and what we had added before, that Hurrem was not very beautiful, as stated in the Arabic book Al-Sultanatan Hurram wa Mihrima, Karinat al-Kanuni wa Salilatu, where an Italian traveler who saw her described her as not beautiful but pleasant. And in any case, beauty is a matter of taste, and this is the beauty that attracted Sultan Suleiman, who described her in one of his poems as the most beautiful of the beauties of the earth, and he sang of her red hair, her braids, and her eyebrows. Everything is beautiful in the eyes of the one who loves. Aisha Hafsa did not show any displeasure toward Hurrem, for soon this concubine became pregnant, and by the time Aisha Hafsa and Suleiman's concubines arrived from Manisa to Istanbul, Hurrem was already pregnant with her first child. Hurrem, the young woman, became part of a completely new world. She had to learn the language and the customs, and she had to train herself to be a worthy partner for the Sultan and a worthy mother for his children. She must have received a lot of help in this matter from Aisha Hafsa, who strictly supervised her son's harem. In addition to that, another important figure appeared in Hürrem's life, Gülfem Hatun, known as Gülfem. The two concubines became close friends, and there was great understanding between them because of their similar natures. But the romantic times did not last long, for Suleiman began his first campaign in the spring of that year, and Hurrem at that time was pregnant. Certainly, she spent the summer studying and relaxing, and Gülfem was helping her write letters to the Sultan. Her son Mehmed was born in September, and Suleiman was absent, so Aisha Hafsa named the newborn. But joy did not last long, for an epidemic came and took a number of Suleiman's children, most importantly his two elder sons, Murad and Mahmud. With the death of these two boys, the number of Suleiman's heirs was limited to two small sons, Prince Mustafa and Prince Mehmed, the son of Hurrem. When Suleiman returned from the campaign, everyone expected him to follow tradition and begin a relationship with a new concubine, since Hurrem had given birth. But Suleiman asked for Hurrem again, which caused a huge shock inside the harem, because up until that time, it was not possible for a concubine who had borne a son to remain a sexual partner to the Sultan. At this specific time, the relationship between Hurrem and Gülfem deteriorated. Hurrem soon became pregnant repeatedly, giving birth to her daughter Mihrimah and her sons Selim, Abdullah, and then Bayezid and Jihangir. Many think that Abdullah was born in the same period as Mihrimah, but a letter from Hurrem written a year earlier may indicate the order of the births, as Hurrem ended the letter saying, "My Sultan, your son Mehmed, your daughter Miri, Selim Khan, and Abdullah also send their greetings." Perhaps it was arranged from oldest to youngest, or perhaps it was a random mention of her children. No one knows. At that time, Hurrem's linguistic abilities developed greatly. She began writing her letters herself, and she delighted Suleiman with beautiful words. For example, in Al-Sultanatan, Hurrem wa Mirima, Qarinatal Qanuni wa Salilata, we find these words she sent. "O you who heals my sad heart, O balm of my wounded soul, your love is the Sultan on the throne of my heart. Even if I possessed all the happiness of the world, in the end, I am a concubine in your hands." Yet beneath the poetry and love, the palace was growing darker. Astrologers in the Imperial Observatory noted unusual alignments during the years of Hurrem's rise, patterns they associated with upheaval and bloodshed. The Janissaries whispered that whenever Hurrem conceived a child, a raven would perch on the outer wall of Topkapi at dawn, an omen of shifting power. Whether myth or coincidence, these stories show how deeply her presence unsettled the old order, and how the empire itself seemed to tremble as her influence grew. This is how Sultana Hürrem lived her life as a concubine, to become truly one of the strongest and most successful concubines in the Ottoman Empire. Perhaps she was not the most beautiful, but she was the most captivating. For it is not easy to convince a sultan like Suleiman to this degree. And naturally, after this stage, Hürrem transformed from a concubine into a woman of power. My dears, we have reached the end of this video. We will soon speak about Sultana Kösem. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and tell us in the comments exactly where you are watching us from. Greetings, I am Sarah from Harem Motivation. See you in coming videos. Farewell.